Think about the one engineer who just knows things. The person who knows why the payment service retries 3 times and not 5. Who remembers why a feature flag has been sitting untouched for 2 years. Every strong team has this person. We usually call them an asset. But look at it the way you would look at a system. If a critical part of how your service stays alive depends on one component and that component has no backup, you do not call that an asset. You call it a single point of failure. That engineer is a single point of failure, not because they are doing anything wrong, but because the knowledge lives in them and only in them. So today we are going to look at why this happens, why it quietly slows down every engineering team, and what it actually takes to fix it. We engineers already understand technical debt. Code written fast today often becomes harder, riskier, and more expensive to change tomorrow. Tribal knowledge behaves exactly the same way. The team moves fast because someone just knows the answer. Nobody writes the runbook, nobody documents the decision, and that feels efficient. But the debt is real, and it sits in one human memory, and it compounds, and you feel it the day that person is on leave during an incident, or the day they switch teams, or simply the day they forget, because human memory is not a database. So the first idea is simple. Knowledge that lives only in person is dead. Think about where your work actually lives. The conversation is in Slack, the ticket is in Jira or Linear, the runbook is in Notion, the signals are in Datadog or Sentry, the infrastructure is in AWS, the code is in GitHub. 6 places, 6 tools, and they do not talk to each other in any real way. So when you pick up a task, who connects them? You do. You open each tool, you read, and you assemble the full picture inside your own head. You are the integration layer between systems that were never designed to share context. The moment you close that tab, or switch task or log off, that assembled picture is gone. It does not save anywhere. The next task or the next person starts from an empty page and rebuilds it from scratch. Let's call this the context tax. It is invisible because it never lands on a sprint board. Nobody files a ticket called rebuild context for 90 minutes. But it is real. It is paid on every task, and across a whole team, it is enormous. So here is the obvious question. It's 2026. We have genuinely powerful AI models. Why has AI not already removed this cost? As far as I know, most teams have integrated AI. They added an assistant, and the assistant is smart. It can read a stack trace, explain a function, suggest a fix. But watch what happens when you use it day to day. Every conversation starts empty. It does not know your services. It does not know what shipped last night. It does not remember the last architecture decision your team made last quarter. So you spend the first few minutes pasting context in, every single time, and that points at something important. Raw intelligence was never the missing piece. Think about how a strong engineer actually works. They use 2 different things. One is reasoning, working through a fresh problem step by step. The other is quieter. Call it judgment. It's the memory of what this team tried before, what broke last time, and what was already decided and why. Reasoning without that context is just a reflex. Fast, but it does not know your world. Context without reasoning is just a lookup. Real engineering needs both. And this is the reason I wanted to make this video. And I discovered CodeRabbit, who are also sponsoring this video. They make a tool called CodeRabbit Agent. Now you may know CodeRabbit from AI Code Review. The product runs around 2 million code reviews a week across roughly 6 million repositories. It is not just sitting in your IDE waiting for prompts. It sits across the engineering workflow itself. Inside Slack, it already sees where the real engineering conversation happens. PR debates, deployment failures, architecture discussions, production incident threads. But the interesting part is that Slack is only the interface. Underneath, the agent is pulling context from repositories, CI/CD pipelines, code reviews, tickets, logs, and all historical decisions. And that is very different direction from IDE-first tools like Kiro or Cursor. Cursor and Kiro are closer to AI pair programmer for an individual developer. CodeRabbit Agent is closer to AI engineering teammate for the entire organization. It rests on 4 ideas: context, memory, multiplayer, and guardrails. Context means the agent sees far more than the file open in your editor. It reads your repositories, pull requests, tickets, Slack threads, CI pipelines, logs, even live runtime systems. Memory means it does not start from zero every time. It carries forward past incidents, decisions, and conventions. Multiplayer means they are no longer single-player copilots. A whole team works with the same shared AI layer across reviews, deployments, and incidents. And guardrails means the agent operates inside boundaries. Permissions, approval flows, audit logs, scoped actions. Because once AI moves from autocomplete into real engineering work, trust becomes part of the architecture. Now, of the all four, the deepest is memory. Because the real problem inside an engineering organization is not a lack of information, it is disappearing context. An incident gets solved once, an architectural trade off gets debated once, a deployment workaround gets discovered once, and 6 months later, another engineer rediscovers the exact same thing from scratch. And that is the context tax. Treat it as an architecture problem, and the solution starts to look like a shared memory layer, something that sits between your tools and your people. And memory like this cannot be one flat database. It needs scopes. A scope for the current task, a scope for a team's own conventions and runbooks, and a scope for organization-wide knowledge. Because a private runbook should not leak everywhere, but a company-wide architectural decision probably should. So the real question for agentic engineering system becomes this. Does it just retrieve context, or does it accumulate organizational memory over time? And that is where tools like CodeRabbit agent gets interesting. The idea is not just connecting AI to your stack, it is turning engineering knowledge itself into infrastructure. Thread memory for the task in front of you, channel memory for a team's conventions, org-wide memory shared across the company. And once that exists, two things change. The context tax drops because engineers stop rebuilding the same picture again and again. And tribal knowledge stops living inside individual people. A decision made once becomes part of a shared layer the whole team can query later. Here's the scenario, the kind that always happens at the worst possible time. A monitoring alert suddenly hits the team. The courses dashboard is hanging. Users are complaining that the /API courses API has become painfully slow. Now normally, the on-call engineer would start opening Grafana, logs, GitHub, dashboards, traces, maybe Slack threads from last week. But this time, she does something different. Inside the incidents channel in Slack, she types one message to the CodeRabbit agent. Scan the API throttling repository. Figure out why latency is high in /API/courses and fix it. And that single message kicks the whole workflow off. The first thing that the agent does is build context. What's the side panel? It spins up a sandbox, syncs the workspace, loads the architecture docs, coding guidelines, and pull request history across 99 repositories. The kind of context gathering an engineer would normally spend an hour doing manually. The agent finishes in seconds, right in front of the entire team. Then the reasoning starts appearing live, line by line. The agent checks the knowledge base, clones the repository, reads the courses route. And then it finds a smoking gun. A previous pull request had already fixed this exact issue. But later, another commit on main, literally labeled intentionally slow API, accidentally reintroduced the same 5-second set timeout. So the problem is not new code. It is old code coming back again. And that is memory in action. The agent removes the timer, returns the courses list immediately, validates the syntax, and tests the local endpoint. HTTP 200, 1 millisecond response time. Then it opens a clean scope pull request automatically. 3 lines added, 5 removed, 1 file changed. Even the PR description writes itself, complete with summary and validation proof. The team reviews it, merges it, and instantly the dashboard starts loading normally again. Nobody manually rebuilt context from scratch. Everything happened inside one shared thread. And that is the real multiplayer idea. No one engineer sitting along inside an IDE. A shared workspace where the entire team can watch the agent reason in real time, redirect it when needed, and keep the work moving together. And because the thread persists, the work becomes resumable. Stop tonight, continue tomorrow, and the full context is still there waiting for you. So here's the checklist. If you are letting an agent touch real systems, this is what you should demand from it, from any vendor. Number 1, scoped access. The agent should only reach the systems a given person or channel is allowed to reach, not everything by default. 2, attributable cost. You should see what was spent, by which team, on what, not one shared bill nobody can break down. Number 3, explainable runs. Every action the agent took should be visible afterwards. What it did, for whom, and why. CodeRabbit agent builds all three into something it calls scopes. Access is scope to who you are, tools are scoped to the channel, and cost is attributed by team and by channel. Now, one last thing worth covering is cost. Most AI tools bill you cannot forecast, and your finance team quietly dislikes it. CodeRabbit agent bills for one thing, the active minutes the agent spend working, metered to the second at 50 cents a minute, and that is roughly $30 an hour. Now, my point is not it is cheap. The point is that it is predictable. The link to try CodeRabbit agent is in the description along with the free credit. And if this way of thinking was useful, do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.